I believe the cabinet led by the vice president should invoke the 25th Amendment. Donald Trump is no longer able to serve. You're seeing massive resignations from people at the White House who are ashamed to be connected. They're indelibly tied to, but finally they're waking up and deciding they're ashamed to be connected with this kind of behavior. But we do need adults, the vice president and cabinet, as caretakers between now and Inauguration Day. And so I believe they should invoke the 25th Amendment. The process suggests they can do that. If Donald Trump doesn't like it, he can file an objection and then Congress gets to vote. And we can vote on whether the 25th Amendment used for the first time is something we would support or not. But I hope the vice president and cabinet will take that step so we don't have a commander-in-chief who is completely deranged. Second, we should make plain, I think most of us don't think Donald Trump's coming to the inauguration anyway, but we should tell him he's not welcome. His presence will likely incite more violence. And just as he did yesterday, and then praise those who engaged in violence as special and as patriots, same kind of things he said about those who rioted and killed people in Charlottesville in August of 2017. We should tell him he's not welcome. And yesterday was the last straw on that. And clearly he feels, okay, I'm on my way out the door. I don't mind trashing the place. And that's not just a metaphor. I mean, that's what happened yesterday. And we can't have a president who believes it's okay on the way out the door to trash the country. We can't. He just did incalculable damage to the country by giving the propaganda to every anti-American despot and dictator around the world, or any dictator who could care less about America but wants to justify being a dictator. He just gave them the playbook yesterday. This is on the front pages of newspapers all over the world. This is who America is because this is who the most known American is. We can't have him even for 10 days, I don't think, as our president and commander-in-chief. And so this is something that the vice president and cabinet can do, and they can do it right now. And, you know, Donald Trump might just accept it and slink off with his tail between his legs to Mar-a-Lago, or he might decide to challenge it. And if he challenges it, he sends a letter to Congress saying he will challenge the exercise of this 25th Amendment power, and then that puts it up for a vote in Congress. And we'll vote on whether he's capable of doing the job. But that's why we need to do it. Could it create some division? Sure, it could. But I think that's less of a danger than the damage that he can continue to do, because he clearly is willing to trash the place on the way out the door.
25th Amendment, I absolutely believe it should be on the table. And I've been in contact with members of the Trump cabinet that I have relationships with, and urging them to decide how they want to be recorded in history. Whether they want to be enablers of an individual that even as late as yesterday afternoon or evening with that pathetic video that he put out, we have no assurance that there's any remorse coming out of this White House. We still have 14 days. So those members of the Trump cabinet who have any conscience or any sense of obligation to rule of law, I do think it's incumbent upon them to act, or to at least resign and not be part of this travesty that's playing out in front of our eyes. Whether that will take place, I'm not sure. But I can assure you, at least from where I have some jurisdiction on the intelligence community side, I'm going to be have been and will continue to be in regular contact with our intelligence leadership to make sure that if Mr. Trump tries to take inappropriate actions, that they understand that their first and foremost obligation is to the Constitution and rule of law.